Welcome to Midnight Signal AI. Today is April 24th, 2026, and we've got a packed show. Meta makes the boldest AI bet in tech history at the cost of thousands of jobs. Elon Musk is ramping up his AI chip ambitions for Tesla and SpaceX, plus ransomware gangs start using quantum-safe cryptography, and Anthropic CEO rubs elbows with Hollywood. All that and more, so let's dive right in. Let's kick off with the seismic news shaking Silicon Valley. Meta is slashing roughly 10% of its global workforce, reportedly up to 14,000 jobs, in order to fund a $189 billion push into AI, according to SmartCompany, the Straits Times, and several other outlets.
That's an enormous number of layoffs, even in the context of big tech belt-tightening. Meta's move is all about reallocating resources toward generative AI and infrastructure, but the human cost is staggering. Plus, it's not just about cuts. Surviving employees are reportedly being pushed to act as internal AI training dummies, helping refine Meta's next-gen models. There's a real sense of urgency and maybe even desperation here.
Yeah, and the scale of Meta's AI ambition is unlike anything we've seen before. Zuckerberg is betting more than the annual GDP of many countries on AI, all in an effort to catch up or leapfrog the likes of OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft. Analysts are calling it a make-or-break moment for the company, but the optics are rough. Firing thousands while spending billions on compute and talent could backfire if AI doesn't deliver massive new revenue streams.
And the ripple effects are already showing. Not only are Meta's layoffs dominating headlines, but Microsoft is also reportedly preparing for its own round of redundancies to fund even more AI investment. We're seeing a new phase of the AI arms race, one where the price tag isn't just measured in GPUs, but in real jobs lost. The industry is moving fast, but at what cost to its people and culture?
On a related note, The Guardian is reporting that both Microsoft and Meta are announcing large staff reductions as they double down on AI spending. This is a clear signal. If you're not all in on AI, you risk being left behind or left out entirely.
The Guardian's take really highlights how the competition between these giants is escalating. Both Meta and Microsoft are betting that AI will be the engine of their next decade. But it's also a reminder that these investments come with tough trade-offs, especially for employees who built the products that made these companies what they are.
Switching gears, let's talk about Elon Musk. According to Reuters and the business journals, Musk is on a massive AI shopping spree for both Tesla and SpaceX. He's also just unveiled details about his Terafab AI chip project, aimed at ramping up in-house AI compute.
This is classic Musk, vertical integration and hardware moonshots. By developing proprietary AI chips, Tesla and SpaceX can reduce their reliance on NVIDIA and other semiconductor giants. There's also speculation, per The Motley Fool, that a joint Tesla-SpaceX effort could challenge the AI semiconductor status quo, possibly even reshaping the chip market if Musk's bet pays off.
And it's worth noting that these moves are as much about cost control as innovation. With the generative AI boom, access to affordable, high-performance chips is the bottleneck for everyone. If Musk can pull this off, it could give his companies a huge edge, especially as the AI talent wars heat up. In more security-focused news, Ars Technica reports that for the first time, a ransomware family has been confirmed to use quantum-safe post-quantum cryptography.
That's a milestone, but also a warning that actors are adopting post-quantum cryptography even before most legitimate businesses are ready. There's no practical benefit yet since quantum computers aren't breaking today's codes, but it's a sign that the ransomware ecosystem is watching the same headlines as everyone else. If defenders don't move just as fast, we could see a new wave of even more resilient attacks.
Meanwhile, over at Anthropic, CEO Dario Amodei is making headlines of a different kind. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Amodei is teaming up with Graydon to host an A-list party at Cannes. AI's social cachet is definitely on the rise.
It's wild to see AI leaders showing up in these elite cultural spaces. It's not just about schmoozing. It signals how mainstream, even glamorous, AI has become. These tech CEOs are now celebrities in their own right, and their influence is bleeding into entertainment, finance, and beyond. It's a far cry from the days when AI was just a research lab curiosity.
And speaking of high-profile leaders, NVIDIA's Jensen Huang is making waves with his latest comments. Fortune reports that Huang is challenging his billionaire peers, claiming he's fine with the highest taxes in the world and urging them not to leave their home countries.
That's a bold statement, and one that pushes back against the narrative that tech billionaires are always looking for tax havens. Wang's positioning himself as both a champion of innovation and a responsible corporate leader. It's a subtle flex. NVIDIA's dominance in AI chips means he can afford to take a stand both politically and financially. Finally, let's circle back to the Meta story for a moment. Gizmodo reports that Meta is now racing to move even faster and, in their words, break more things as they restructure around AI. The internal culture is shifting radically. Gizmodo's piece points to a real tension. Meta is sacrificing stability for speed. It's a high-risk strategy, especially with morale already shaken by layoffs. But Zuckerberg clearly thinks the window to dominate AI is narrow, and he's willing to tolerate chaos to get there. The next year or two will be a stress test for the whole organization. That wraps up today's Midnight Signal AI. Meta's all-in AI gamble is shaking up the industry. Jobs are on the line, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Musk is doubling down on AI hardware, ransomware gangs are getting quantum ready, and AI leaders are becoming celebrities. We'll keep tracking all the breakthroughs, risks, and human stories. Thanks for joining us. Jamie, any final thoughts before we sign off? Just that this is one of those moments when the pace of change feels almost overwhelming, both the opportunities and the consequences. If you're working in tech or just following AI, buckle up. We're in for a wild ride. That's your signal. See you next time.